I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. We certainly did, and today I want to talk about the best present I've ever received. A cold steel Polish saber. This is just my favourite thing in the world right now, so we're going to review it today. Without a doubt, the Polish saber has to be one of the most beautiful swords I've ever seen. I mean, just look at that absolutely stunning detail work there. And on the guard, and on the thumb ring, it's just beautiful. Even the wire here is braided, which is such a lovely little touch. Now, the handle and the scabbard are both the same red leather, and it's really quite fitting considering that the Polish flag is red and white. So you have that same colour scheme here with the red leather and the white metal. Once unsheathed, you can just see the beautiful finish on that blade. Oh, lovely curve and all. Now, one complaint people have about cold steel weapons is they often say their swords have no distal taper. So let's just follow with the camera. You can see that gentle tapering up to the end and back down. Yes, absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the saber weighs in at 1113 grams. Now, while that is within the weight range of historic examples, it's definitely towards the heavier end. You can also observe here where the point of balance for the blade is. The Polish use this saber in an art called cross-cutting, which primarily relies on diagonal cuts delivered either with the wrist, with the elbow, or sometimes with the whole body. Now, this style here uses a lot of what are called by the French moulinets. A lot of this. Now, as you can see, you need the hand unobstructed in order to do that. This is why the unique design here has far less hand protection than some westernized sabers. Many of the Western sabers have bars which wrap around here, or even a full basket encasing the hand. This saber here has very little protection. It's got the D guard at the front and this unique thumb ring. Now this tells us exactly how you're meant to hold it. You see, many Westerners who use more thrusting than the Polish do hold their saber in this fashion here. Now the thumb ring here obviously gives us a clue that the grip intended is this sort of key lock loop between the index finger and the thumb. Now this allows these fingers to loosen off so you can actually get a full range of motion. If you held it tightly you couldn't move at all. So these fingers have to be loose and there has to be full range of motion around the hand. That's why the hand guard is designed in this very unique manner. Of course, this is a cold steel sword, so we've got to do some backyard cutting. Now, I haven't touched this edge at all, that's just how it comes. It's good, it's fairly sharp. Let's see how it goes against this dreaded water bottle. Okay, that was not too difficult at all. Let's try another one. Good stuff. Here's where having a heavier blade definitely comes in handy. You see, slicing through these bottles, which are actually filled with ballistic jelly, was no more different than slicing through the bottles filled with mere water. Well, I give this sword a 10 out of 10. It's fast become one of my most favourite swords, if not my single most favourite sword. However, full disclosure, I do have to admit to a personal bias. You see, while I was born in Australia, racially I'm Polish, so of course this is not just a sword, not just a sharpened piece of metal, it's also part of the heritage, so I'm going to tell you why. Now you see, long ago, before Polish man was in a non-stop war with Florida man to see who could create the most meme-worthy news headlines, Polish man did save Western civilization. He did save our civilization.
The year was 1683. During the height of the previous Islamic invasion of Europe, the largest ever army of Muslims to invade Europe, 200,000 fighting men strong, had marched directly into the heart of Europe and were besieging the walled city of Vienna. Polish man, or in this case, to be more precisely, the King of Poland himself, was given supreme command of the Allied European forces and the task of repelling these invaders. The decisive moment in the battle, sealing the victory for European forces, came when the king himself led the largest ever cavalry charge in human history, some 20,000 plus horsemen, led by 3,000 of the Polish winged hussars, the most famous and feared cavalry at the time, crashed into the Muslim encampment and routed their forces. Needless to say, this was a pivotal moment in European history, for it would be unforeseeable how history would have played out had this charge not been successful and Vienna fallen to the forces of Islam.
I can think of no better way than to get in touch with your heritage and honour those brave men by getting yourself your own Polish Saber.